Previously on Critically Stupid.
Hey everyone! So, last episode, after my genius and not at all impulsive decision to take a misty step and drop myself and my many thousand pounds on top of some baddies, I ended up beneath the dark, deep, dank harbor where I met something both rude and unprecedented called the consequences of my actions. So, monsters started bursting up from the sea floor, pustuled hands in desperate need of some sort of topical antibiotic grabbed onto my beautiful hoof. And then things got extra bad as something evil and wiggly started swimming towards me, some sort of sea monster wiggle boy holding swords. But then I remembered I have magic. So I cast moonlight and deep fried the forearms of the wiggle monster. And then my best friend Arnold actually appeared to rescue me, and together we made it to the surface. And I took my first breath for the first time in hours, which I love that for me. Love air, big fan. So that was great. At the end of the episode, we saw something swimming towards Mel and Urstul, which looks like pretty bad news. Not entirely sure why those two are together, but it can't be good. And I don't know what happened to Garath, but I think he ended up inside. I don't know. He makes decisions that are really good, just like I do. So I'm sure things are going great. And what's important is that we all have fun. So yeah, enjoy.
Fucking remember.
Yeah, also maybe pay attention, Anthony. I don't know.
I always pay attention. It's just
I
sometimes
thought you were gonna call me out for dissociating again, and I was gonna be sad.
there are
No,
things. Yeah.
I don't have any more sound effects in me. The tank is empty. I can't afford to mock your mental health this early.
Yeah, I got a free
In
sound
this
effect
economy?
for you. I have a free sound effect. The next time somebody dies like Mario in Mario 64,
Wah!
there you go. That one's on the house.
Maybe I'll just start incorporating like really cheesy like stock soundboard effects just randomly. Like somebody's gonna do something that'll be like "Doing."
Oh hell, dude! I've been saying that we need like a studio laugh track, but exclusively for when the joke whiffs.
You know, like,
I'd imagine how funny that would be.
like when
That's what
Anthony's
producer Sean
about
does.
when Anthony's
Yeah.
about to die, because that happens a lot. Okay, if you ever played Sonic the Hedgehog 2, but the sound when he needs an air bubble, when he's in the water and he can't find an air bubble and it's counting down because he's about
Dude,
to die.
that sounds still like
Oh, it gives me
It stresses
palpitations.
me out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's
I'm a
that's
grown
been-
ass
we need
man.
fucking
and
air
that stresses
bubble.
me out.
Well,
We should
yeah,
have been
and
playing that when Tess was underwater.
Oh my god! I mean, there's still time. That episode doesn't come out until fucking April 21st.
2027.
When you hear the call to adventure into the fantasy fold, you never know what's around the next corner. Just grab your dice and roll. And if you have a problem to solve, call your best friends and heavenly door.
Gareth with the stealthy hands. Tess can smell what's around the bend. Mel will kill at the drop of a dime. Arnold will find a friend every time. We're not murder hobos, but you'll be killed and looted. We might be the bad guys, or maybe just deluded, because we're critically stupid, critically stupid, critically stupid, critically stupid.
Best friends.
Arnold
That's
volunteered
true.
to go underwater.
Everybody else sort of like found themselves in
Heroically.
I don't know,
Heroically.
yeah, I'm not-
I
I'm
had
not
a
gonna-
best
I don't know
friend.
I don't know if Tess
A Bessie
can blame
friend.
other people on her
I was
ending
gonna
up in
say
the
you
water.
kind of like you just cow bombed. Come on, the
Yeah, but
water
that
was
wasn't
You
pretty
the
kind of
intent.
abundant.
forgot the water was there.
Tess didn't think about the other part. She just thought, like, I will save everyone by just dropping myself on them, and then didn't really think further than that.
You know what? It was heroic, and I think we're all really overlooking that.
Great point.
Okay.
stakes
Any
were
questions
high.
before we get started?
So are we gonna move back the stakes are high joke? I don't think we're gonna gloss over that one.
Was that a joke?
You guys are supposed to just to brush
Stakes
past
like
me.
cow because she's a cow and she dropped on him. Catch up, Alex.
That would be the
Come
canned
on.
laughter insert where like a joke whiffed. Or was it just me? Ah, fuck. It
think
was just me,
you.
wasn't
It
it?
was just sorry.
Well, then I'll cut this whole thing out. Ha
How dare you?
He's a butcher, that one. All right.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning into soon to be world famous Dungeons and Dragons real play podcast, Critically Stupid. I am your friendly neighborhood dungeon master, Alexander James. My favorite part of last episode was Jess as Tess actually casting Moonbeam to great effect in the bottom of the Waterdeep Harbor. Jess is obviously quite new at D&D, so I was super impressed that she A, remembered that she had that spell, and B, cast it in a way that actually like helped her out of her predicament somewhat. So
Yeah,
Good job,
she's
Jess.
way better at this than I am.
I have
she's
a
quite
spreadsheet.
good.
That's the only reason.
No, I fucking have all the shit. It doesn't help me. I'm just stupid.
You're not stupid, Bestie. You're great.
Right.
Anthony, you go next.
I'm Anthony. I play Arnold. I'm a bard, and my favorite part of last episode was basically Garion doing everything right, and the rest of us just finding ways to ruin the world. I ended up in the water. I don't know how that happened, but we're all there.
You chose to go into the water, man.
Oh, well, I had to. I mean, someone had to. I felt like the cow was going to be eaten by zombies. There was an issue. Like bad things were happening.
We
Someone
had
had
to go after the cow and save her after she saved us.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, who's going next? Let's Garion.
Hello, my name is Garion. I am your unfriendly neighborhood rogue. My favorite part about last episode was when one of the captors betrayed the other and killed him, and then the lady that was being bound just killed him anyway. Tess, you go. Jess, you go.
I'm Jess. I play Tess. I'm a druid. My favorite part of last episode is how I did not breathe for about an hour and a half.
In real
Entire
life,
episode.
not even in fiction.
Yeah, I held my breath the entire episode. That was fine. It didn't matter because of magic. Dianna.
Hi, my name is Dianna. I play Mel, who is a ranger. My favorite part of last episode. God, I really hate that we do this. I can't remember shit. Like I'm just like, if you were to ask what my favorite part of was the episode that was like just released, then
Sure.
I'd be on that because I just watched it. But now I'm like, I was drinking. I don't remember. I don't know. I think it was kind of cool that Garion was like super. I don't know. You seem to have a plan this whole time. And I think that slaps. I'm sorry that everyone else fucked it up, but in my defense,
Seem nearly stupid enough, though.
mine was like accidental. Like I got pulled in.
Yeah, you guys are smart.
I think it's actually hilarious that you guys consider Garath not jumping in and immediately fucking things up to be a plan.
Yeah,
But
that's
you know what?
so
I'm
smart.
really flattered.
Yeah.
I feel like
I had a
you
plan.
were quick to come up with plans, though. Every time something was thrown at you, I don't know. You're always like, I have a crazy idea, but somehow it works out in the
Yeah.
end.
They have better ideas than dropping a cow on people or just jumping into death.
Anything
On
that
purpose.
isn't the complete chaos feels like order. Like it
Yeah,
feels
yeah, it's like the
Oh.
basement of mediocrity is really what we're shooting for here.
I chose the two options were drop a cow on them or maybe go in the door, and I chose the second one, and everyone's like, "Holy shit!"
Wow. Holy
Honestly,
shit.
Drop
Mensa
a
over here.
drop
My
a cow on
God.
them is the name of my favorite album dropping this year.
Oh, it's my favorite porno, actually, is dropping a cow on them. It's crazy.
I don't kink shame, but I am curious.
I'll send you the link.
Oh, thank you.
CDSM.
What did you just say?
CDSM.
CVS them?
Nope.
Steve.
We're moving on. All right.
Like the pharmacy in America?
No, stop it.
Okay.
Um,
Not a
There's a
sponsor.
pharmacy in America called. Do you mean like
CVS?
He
CVS?
was talking about CVS. He was talking about BDSM, but with a cow.
I got
Anthony
his.
got it.
I just didn't. No, I
Oh.
understood that. That I was stuck on the pharmacy that is CDSM. There is no
So is the
pharmacy.
cow is a cow always a
CVSM,
sub?
But there is CVS. They
I like
both start with
CVSM where you go
Cs.
in for medicine, end up with feeling better. Like, and
Because
rest.
it's something
here
much
for
better.
my
You're
inhaler and
still
also my
sick,
leather harness.
right? Like you're still sick, but you are sick and satisfied.
Hey, Alex, how do you feel about hand-picking all of us for this podcast?
Yeah, I came on as a guest with a titty out and a cocaine cannon, and you're like, do you want to
That
stay
one.
full time?
That
Listen,
one
as soon
for
as you
sure.
said cocaine cannon, we were like, we want that one.
Runs.
Yep.
With the
Cocaine cannon.
preferably.
Okay, we're gonna cut into it. We're actually gonna play the game now.
That's the game.
I'm gonna come to your house and set you on fire.
I didn't like that phrasing at all. I was-
We are gonna open on the ashed out, still smoldering remains of a house. Where you're going to open on a familiar figure walking through it, actually under the watchful eye of Captain Rein of the city guard. You see Watchman Adam slowly picking his way through the smoldering wreckage of a recent fire.
I thought you were going to say it was like one of our houses.
I
just
know,
set
me
on
too.
fire.
Oh, no. Nobody recognizes this house. It's in a different part of the city.
Am I supposed to know any of the names that you're saying? Because I don't.
You shouldn't, because it's previous people on the show.
That's okay. I don't know them either, and I should.
Yeah, that's
Captain
true.
Rain is the captain who detained us, and Adam is the guy who kept flirting with Cerulean.
Oh, poor Adam.
That's the one. That's the one.
Anyway, we open on a
Aw.
recently firebombed troll skull.
It's not Troll Skull. It's a different house. But under the watchful eye of Rain, Watchman Adam is slowly starting his own baby steps into his first investigation. He's turning over bits of tables and chairs and is like aloud thinking to himself, like, what might have happened here. To Rain's approval and also gentle correction as she notices him make a mistake or leap to an assumption that she disagrees with. She's showing him how to check for evidence to fit theory and not theory to fit evidence. And Watchman Adam turns over a section of table. Looks like a big dining room table.
Why
Which
would you
tavern?
want evidence to fit theory? You want a theory to fit the evidence.
Oh,
Yeah, you
fuck,
fucked
I
that
goofed
up,
it,
Alex.
didn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that's
hurt
why
my
I was
brain.
doing this, like Garion. So like
Yeah,
we
no,
were on the
me and
same
Noah was
page
I'm
where
pretty
we were
sure-
like,
I'm pretty sure you
wait a
fucked
minute,
that up.
like we know the police are biased, okay, but let's not like announce that.
No,
Yeah,
that's
they
just
yeah,
great.
Watchman Adam kneels down on a pedestrian's neck. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, basically, like fucking hell.
While I'm cutting
ACAB
all of
is
this
the title
anyway.
of this episode.
Can't
Adam
fuck
turns
that.
off his body cam.
Oh, I wasn't ready for that.
Okay.
Oh god, this country sucks.
Adam turns over a big piece of wreckage. It almost looks like a dining room table. And on the underside of it is the sort of like grisly remains of a cloak that has been burned and tattered and actually fused to the bottom of this table. And Watchman Adam points to it and says, I think now, Captain, I may be jumping to conclusions here, but I think that perhaps this was used as shelter for somebody, maybe like pressing up on the underside of it. And Captain Rain walks over, and there's a rasping, scraping sound as she uses the tip of her sword to sort of like scrape against this cloak and wood. And she frowns and says, I think you are unfortunately correct. I am not sure what happened here. This is Rainier Neverember, not actually Captain Rain. So I am not sure what happened here, but it was truly an act of violence. And then I think the camera pulls away from the scene, and we're going to go in like a backwards time lapse as the house actually starts to pull itself back together, brick by smoldering brick. The roof lifts up from this dining room and settles back on the burning timbers of the house, and the fire actually settles down, pulling away from these pieces of wood and the slagged out remains of what once were windows. The wall stands straight up and the doors close. And suddenly we're looking at the inside of just a regular, well-to-do house in some merchant's house. You would assume there are drapes on the windows on the inside. There's something bubbling over the fireplace, and there is a family taking shelter underneath the massive central dining room table of this house that has been laid out for dinner. And strapped to a chair with a rusty piece of metal sealing his mouth shut somehow. I don't know how that works, but it's closed up. Is a wealthy looking merchant. And you hear a voice come from out of frame, going over the sharp sound of something clicking, some sort of like metal scraping against metal. And the voice says, "Now, you've been a little hard to find, Emmerich. A little, dare I say it, squirrely. The Xanathar Guild does not deal lightly with traitors. And I think our business is quite concluded." Around this scene, there are people in rough, like hard leather armor studded with like iron spikes, sloshing containers of like clear liquid out on the floor. And that rasping, clicking sound strikes one last time, and there's a sudden, like, quiet whoosh. And an orange glow starts to light the inside of this house. And there are footsteps on the floor and a door opening. And the voice says, "One last loose end to be tied up." All right, gang. So
Or burnt. Either way.
That was like the intro to Goblet of Fire. Just
Was
some
it?
guy getting murdered.
Oh, I guess so. Okay. So we are opening on some chaos with you gang. I think I'm gonna start with Garath and this person, because Garath just threw a wrench and knocked the wand out of this person's hand just after she cast whatever it is that knocked Mel and Urstul Floxin into the water. So, Garath, I think this woman swivels to look at you because she didn't know that you were there. The wand, I will say, is about equidistant between the two of you. So you can either... I know what she's going to do. I'm curious what you're going to do.
The first thing I want to do is, it's real gutsy, I will say. But I want to basically just lunge at her full speed and see if I can cut the tube that connects her mask to her pouch.
So before she did actually take it off at the
did she?
Yeah, she took it off at the end of last episode. I don't want to have to waste an action with that.
Okay, I mean that works because the goal was for her not to poison the whole room again. So
legit. So are you still gonna go? You still gonna go for it?
See, that's the kind of planning that I was talking about. Like you're
I
fucking
think
on
about
it. Like I don't
He's so
remember
good.
any of that, and you're like, no, I got to make sure she does it. I know you can't read, but I think you may actually be the smartest one of us.
you're talking to, like, me personally, or
No, the character. As far as I know, you Garion can read.
True.
But I was
I
talking about the
pride
I was talking
myself
about the
on the
character.
ability. Okay, well then, yeah, I think I'm just gonna go for a normal lunge, kind of full speed attack before she can, like, really react.
Is it a lunge or an attack, first of all?
Well, how close am I? I believe I would have to lunge to get close enough to attack. No,
I mean, it's a small cabin. It's not very big inside. So I will say that the dagger is probably 4 feet between each of you, and she is 8 feet away. So, like, theoretically, if you got a good couple of running steps in, you could jump for her instead of the wand.
that is the plan. Putting myself in between her and the wand.
Okay.
Is
Dianna?
lunge like a separate action? I guess I would consider it in my head as like part of an attack when you're lunging.
Yeah, that's
to
kind of
hit
what I was
somebody.
thinking, but
but
it doesn't
you were-
really matter.
No, I'm above table just trying to understand. Is lunge considered a separate action from attack? Is it? Like
no,
something
it would.
else
I
you
would
have to-
consider it. I would consider it movement unless Garion
Okay.
was going for like a diving tackle, because like he could lunge for the wand and that would be one check, or he could go for like a diving tackle for her and that would be a
Okay.
second check. So I was just trying to suss out what his.
I
sort
got
of
you.
intent.
Okay, thank you.
Gareth, rolling to lunge at this person. Give me a straight up and down grapple check, please. That would be your.
It's Dex bonus, right?
I think it's actually athletics or acrobatics. I'll let you choose which.
Definitely acrobatics. Fuck
There
me.
it is. There it is.
13 plus 3 is 16.
16 is quite good. Okay. You dive for her and she dives for the wand. She barely even looks at you, actually, Gareth. So intent is she on like scrabbling for it. However, you manage to just like wrap an arm around her shoulder and sort of like flip upside down so that you're like kind of holding her against your chest. But she immediately lashes back and thumps an elbow against your rib cage.
Ouch.
But your whatever armor what armor are you wearing, Gareth, actually?
Wizard robes that are dyed black for stealth. So I guess leather.
Okay. Her elbow just sort of like bonks off the side of your ribs and doesn't really hurt you. But she does start like shouting and like drawing attention.
Don't like that.
Mel and Urstul. And actually Arnold and Tess you're close enough to see this sort of thing go down.
Everybody else.
You see the hook-jawed face of Travis the water mercenary, is what I've decided to call him, cutting through the water, making a beeline towards Urstul and Mel. Their eyes like sort of like slanted into like a expression of like rage and fury.
Call him a merce man.
Merce man.
I was
Much
gonna
better.
say, like, I've never heard of a scenary before, much less a mercenary.
I'm about to die
Like-
here, you
it's like
guys.
mermaid. Thank you, Anthony.
Oh man. And he dives just below the surface, and Mel. All right.
Doesn't die.
You see and feel like the surge of water as this creature unsheaths something from its belt. And then there's a deep set grunt of pain from the figure underneath you.
Oh, thank God he went for Urstul and not me.
And suddenly the water in front of you starts to
Boil.
turn red,
Turn
I
red?
guess. There's blood in the water, but it's nighttime, so like not as dramatic a scene as perhaps I had hoped.
It would still seem a little bit darker, though, I would think. Maybe.
Sure,
still
yeah.
have
Because
the
I can
cowlight?
see at night, so I would think I would notice that it is dark.
Yeah, you definitely see and smell blood in the water. Arnold, to answer your
Moonbeam
question,
light?
I do think you still have a little bit of moonbeam light in the water nearby. I don't know how long that spell lasts, but it hasn't been very long since Tess cast it.
Cast from the sky, like would it be like a beam of light from the sky into the water, or is it only in the water?
I would think it would be from the sky because that's not
From
that's
the
where the
moon.
moon comes from.
Yeah.
So Mel, what do you?
Am I still wrapped around Urstul, even though he just got presumably?
I think your instincts probably would have been to swim for yourself and not like stay held on to this person unless you choose that you wanted to keep him isolated.
Well, I know we fell in together, so that's. I
Mhm.
guess I'm asking the timing of it. Like, was there time for me to pull away from him before he got stabbed, or was it like
about 5 seconds. So like if you did unwrap, you're still like right next to him, or
Okay.
you can be fully like
Okay.
wrapped around him.
Do I notice if he's actually dead?
He seems to be alive. He is gasping in pain and swearing pretty
And
violently.
aspirating
How's he
because we're in the
gasping
water,
underwater?
so he's
Yeah.
inhaling.
No, you're
all
both
that
at the
directly
surface of
into
the
his
water.
lungs.
Oh, I thought they
Oh,
were like
I thought I was
falling
under.
deeper
Okay.
and deeper.
Yeah, that's what I was picturing too. But I'm good with being at the surface. And do I see where the angry, whatever we're
First man.
calling him now?
First man.
Yeah.
He has dived. He's underwater.
How
Oh
far
Oh my
am I-
god! Hang on a second. Super important detail. Josh Pad is trying valiantly to swim and keep his little wolf head above water.
Oh, my
I was
little
wondering
Josh
what was
Pad.
happening with Josh Pat.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he can swim. He just doesn't like to, that's.
He is having a bad time.
I understand that. He's gonna need such a bath when we get home with like bloody water. Maybe Tess can help me give him a little bath.
Oh.
I
There.
know it's so cute up here, you guys. How far am I from the shore?
From the shore, you're probably like,
Am I like
ooh,
right there or
50 feet out? Because you fell off a pier that was jutted out into the harbor at the sort of like dilapidated
okay, I
end
fell
of this
off
water.
the pier.
So you're probably like 5 to 7 feet away from the pier if you wanted to clamber up.
Yeah, okay. If the pier's close, I guess okay, yeah. But I kind of want to try and bring
Push
the
Urstul under.
yeah, okay, yes, but I kind of want to try and like drag him with me if I can.
Oh, okay.
And my assumption is that little Josh Pad is going to keep following me, because that's kind of what he does. So I'm
Okay.
less worried. I know he doesn't like water, but I also know he's fine in the water. But I do want to move fast because I don't know where the Merce man is. God damn it.
It's great. Honestly, I love it. Okay, Mel, make a strength check for me, please.
Strength. Hold on, I gotta find this bad boy. Boop, boop. Oh, right up top.
Look at
Oh,
her.
I gotta
Look at her
find
go.
it.
Fuck yeah.
I know.
Knows
I've
what
made
she's
so
rolling.
much progress, but then Jess comes in and immediately knows what she's doing. Like, if you watch early episode, I mean, Bestie cut a lot of it out, but like, I would spend like 10 minutes looking for the right dice. It's real bad. It's
And then
These are
narrating us
digital
through the dice rolls, like they all look the same. And
they
the four of
did
us
all
are
look
like,
the
yeah,
same.
bro.
And then you called me stupid.
They all have so many numbers on
So
them.
cute. You're precious.
We can also say this is the second time she's been in the water like this, but it's going much better this time. Like,
The second time?
is it? Let's do we want to
Oh.
fight about this?
No, I'm asking. I don't remember.
It was Arnold is referring to the alternate ending of one of our episodes that I had to cut out because you had been enjoying
Oh,
your wine a little bit
that
much, and we
time.
fucking started
Yeah.
screaming at each other about
I
the
know. I
carrying
was going
capacity of the
It's going
average drunk
spectacular.
ranger.
In comparison.
Yeah.
I want this. Can this be like, that needs to be a Patreon release.
What's funny is that
is so
somebody
good.
actually comments later and they're like, how is she swimming with gold? And then Bestie had to defend the decision, even
Oh.
though he hated the
He's so
decision.
mad.
And
It
that
was
was so fun for me.
The thing is, like, I had to cut it because it went.
I
There was
know,
like a
we
there was
got
like a
really
moment.
pissed.
There was like a window where it was funny, and then we yelled at each other for like 2 full minutes
Because
after
gold's not
that.
that fucking.
You're fucking.
Gold?
We're
Gold?
back in
How
the
much
swamp.
of it is what I'm saying? Like, they weren't bricks, they were like coins and shit. Like,
There were coins and gems and weapons, and you were just like swimming, and you had also been like through this traumatic thing, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna swim 50 feet.
oh, you
with
think I
70
can't
pounds
handle
of
the
stuff.
traumatic thing? Come on.
Are we gonna cut it out this time too? Because
Fucking probably roll the dice, Bestie.
I did roll it. I got a
Somebody else
16.
Okay, what were you trying to do?
I was trying to. Right, I was trying because I'm super strong in the water, as we've established, like more than normal. I am trying to drag Urstul what's his fucker with me to the pier, and
Okay.
my fingers are crossed that one of my compatriots will see me going to the pier and will perhaps assist. Maybe
In some capacity. Okay.
Are
You haul yourself up the pier, no problem. Mel, because you are super strong in the water with the carrying
Yes, I
capacity of
am.
the average water buffalo.
Does little
Um,
Josh Pat jump up with me? Do I?
Josh
carry him
Pat
to the
does not.
scruff?
Josh Pat
Do I-
actually Josh Pat low key looks a little bit like he's struggling.
I would
And I
just grab-
see
Why
Josh
would he
Pat.
be struggling? He's a wolf.
Because he's too small to push himself up the lip of the pier from the pier
Well,
to
I
the
think I
water
would probably
is like.
just grab him by the scruff then, if he's.
Well, if you'd let me finish my Bessie, you and I have to fucking chill here, okay? It is like 15 minutes into this episode.
I know.
You are busy hauling the huge mercenary out of the water with both hands. Because as you pull him up and you sort of draw his shoulders level with the pier, the water about 15 feet away starts to froth and boil. And Tess and Arnold, you see this Merce man pull up around for another swing. And as Mel actually pulls Urstul Floxin out of the water, you see a bloody gash sort of across his abdomen, where a hooked blade has sliced through his leather armor and punctured into his gut.
I'm gonna need one of you to save my dog, since apparently Bestie has got it out for me today.
Trust Pete just like use his teeth to like latch on, and then just be dragged out of the water because he's a
Just
smart
stick your
boy.
leg out. Yeah.
Like, who's to say he
Has a
wouldn't
brain.
like bite onto Urstul while I'm pulling him up?
That's an adorable
All right,
picture.
fine.
Actually, I picture the water
Whee!
lifting and placing him on top of the pier like in Moana.
Also, it'd be a I don't think the fans would like it if you hurt the dog.
I'm
Well,
not
it's one thing to
obviously.
hurt me.
Listen, Josh Pat is like a Pokemon, right? He can be injured, but he never dies. He will only ever be knocked out.
Okay.
It's like dog
not-
meat and Fallout.
I just
Exactly.
worry about him constantly because if you get mad at me, you could kill him because you are
A
Legion.
vindictive god.
You are Legion, and I don't like it. You're still mad
okay.
about the gold thing.
If you bring it up one more time.
I love you, Bestie.
All right. So Urstul Floxin
I think you look real
is
nice
like
today.
is like trying to like push himself out of the water. He's still cognizant of like everything that's going on. So he sticks a leg out, and Josh Pat sinks his teeth into Urstul Floxin's trouser leg, and
Thank
then
you.
just like spread eagle floats and is like a little bit relieved that he doesn't have to keep swimming.
That is an
Tess
adorable
and
image.
Arnold, would you like to do something about this boiling, frothing water and Merceman in there, or would you like to just swim to the pier? What do you guys want to do?
Does it look like the Merceman is coming toward us at all? Like, is he aimed at us, or is he just busy over there?
It's hard to tell because right now the Merceman is just sort of like motion in water. It's hard to tell what sort
What
of
he's
direction
doing,
he's
exactly.
taking.
Okay, fair
Actually boiling in that it's like warm. Okay.
No. I mean, he did pee, so it's got that weird sort of like pool in the daytime temperature.
man.
Yeah, okay, it's tepid.
So how far are we from the pier? Like
Probably
could
like
we make
20 feet.
20 feet.
Are they
Okay.
still in the water?
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Well, he's
I thought you
injured too,
got
right?
out.
Travis was injured by Moonbeam. 'Cause
Travis
that's what
was
that
injured by
is.
Moonbeam. Yeah, it burned his forearms as he sort of like slithered into the light.
Okay, fair. Yeah, okay, I'll try to swim to the pier.
Okay.
Just
It's not I mean, you can do it. The water is
okay.
fine. It's not gonna
Yeah.
I'm not gonna need you
Perfect.
to roll.
So I'm getting out of this water. It's, I'm then like looking to my friend, and hopefully, they also are coming out. I'm not sure.
Tess, what do you got?
Tess would also get out of this goddamn fucking water. She's been wet for days. Now, just get me out.
Okay.
Oh, I
you
like
both-
thinking that Tess and Josh Pat hate the water. Like you're both going to be like drying out in front of the fire,
Shaking.
like,
Tess
like
didn't
a
used to
cow
like
and a wolf just like chilling in front of the fire trying to dry out.
Yeah.
Real cute.
Just
up
curled
there
up by the
still.
fire.
Real cute.
Yeah, Tess. Alex, should Tess be in human form? Because you wanted me to be more
Yeah.
or whatever. Should I maybe Tess changed into person form? Okay, so Tess now is no longer a cow, and she's just in her fey human form. And then yeah, she'll come along into the water.
Okay.
Or onto the pier.
Well, can I also turn around to the water? Because all I did was move, right? I didn't take an action. I just moved. So I just want to turn around to the water, like looking at Travis and just kind of be like, what the heck, man? And just kind of use vicious mockery as my cantrip on him. Just like kind of just being like, what are you
I
doing?
mean, you're
Like,
calling him Merceman, so I think
Yes.
that would cut
But-
him real deep.
So
Like,
that's
he
a
thinks
one.
he's real
one-
tough,
he-
and then you hit him with Merceman.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's called him
Well-
like the Wiggle Boy. He's in my head, he's just like a wiggle.
Little wiggly
but-
guy.
That's a wisdom saving throw of 13
Okay.
for you.
I rolled an 18.
Dang it. Fail.
Travis, listen, Travis's self-esteem is not tied to his Merceman or person status. So
Oh, look at
Goes in
Travis
the
with the
thick scales.
self-esteem.
Yeah, it was like
Must be nice.
okay.
well, fuck
Um,
myself then, Travis.
Yeah, exactly. Like fuck you and your like. Who's your therapist, Travis? Just
Arnold
for me.
and Tess pull yourselves up onto the pier, sort of like gasping. Tess, I imagine you're quite tired from your shenanigans underwater. Arnold, you sort of played the part of the gallant heroes. You're probably feeling pretty great. You swam down there, you cast some spells, you freed your friend. Fucking thumbs up for you.
I did it. Now I'm just like worried about Garion because I haven't seen him in like 3 minutes. I don't know what's going on. I'm just
Well, what's curious about Garion is you hear the raucous cries of an old lady screaming out, "Get off me, you fiend! Let me go!" And you turn and you see your friend and compatriot, Garath the Rogue, I think full Nelsoning an old lady on the ground of this cabin, sort of like iron elbow around her neck and sort of just like pinning her down.
You can see in through the window.
The door is open and that's where they're sort of scuffling. Mel, the silver form of Travis takes another dive at Urstul Floxin, and is going to make an attack unless you would like to intervene. Right now, you've got both hands on Urstel's like shoulder pauldron, sort of pulling him out of the water. But theoretically, you could sort of like get involved with one hand if you wanted to, or you could.
Is he like hanging on it because he's still alive? And I know he's got a gap, but like, is he with it enough to know that maybe he should like try and hold on to like the, you know what I mean?
He's trying. He's got like one arm behind him, but like you're dragging him sort of like. His back is facing the pier, so it's a little bit of an awkward angle for him. So he's trying to like put his arms up to push himself up the pier and help you. But he's also quite aware of this like fish person slicing through the water towards him with malicious intent and is obviously not stoked about it.
But if I let go of him, he's gonna fall in.
Josh Pat is attached to him.
No, I know. That's why I'm asking.
Yes.
As much as I would like to shoot the fucking Merce man, and I'm gonna make a mental note to do that later, I think I would try and
haul him up.
Haul him up.
Okay. Roll another strength check for me. I just want to see if you can like clean and jerk him fresh out of this water. And then anybody else.
I roll better when I drink.
There you go.
Wait,
and anybody else.
Are going to be helping?
There are two people who could like help out.
Absolutely.
Can we help? Yeah.
Yeah. If you guys are going to help, then Mel, you get to roll with advantage. So roll twice, take the higher of the two.
Pulling up bees, so thank God I got advantage on that, y'all.
Those bees out of the water.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, what just happened?
Her arms just disintegrate into a bunch of bees.
Such a good superpower.
That's cool as hell. Bee shape.
A swarm of bees.
I think it's called a dirty 20.
Ooh, okay.
Got a 17 plus 3 dirty. I'm learning. Yay.
All right.
20.
Dirty 20. Very good. Okay.
Because all the water's
I told you
so hard.
I'm stronger when I drink and I'm stronger in water.
So you three of you like just haul Urstul Floxin out of the water
Just
in time to see, and Josh Pat, obviously, just in time to see Travis arc a curved dagger into the area just where Urstul Floxin was just a second ago. But you all sort of like fall backwards onto the pier, gasping, dripping with water and sort of like overall quite spent.
Josh Pat's shaking. You know the dog.
Josh Pat immediately starts like shaking his whole frame and just like barking at nothing.
Tess doesn't remember she's in human form, so she's also shaking out her hair like a dog.
It's not, you know what's crazy? It's not an inefficient way to get water out of your hair.
Exactly.
All right, so you all hear a couple of things. Number one, you hear an old lady shouting. You see your companion, Garath the Rogue, suplexing an old lady in the doorway of her cabin. You also hear and feel footsteps on the dock. And you turn to see the red-headed figure of Rainier Neverember sort of like appear through the fog. If you'll remember, he was knocking on doors sort of like the wrong side of the pier a couple episodes ago. You guys decided to leave him where he was. However, he appears to have been drawn by the commotion. And he and a couple of goons behind him sprint up the docks and he says, "My goodness, are you terribly hurt? That was a horrible thing to behold. You are all quite... Did you jump into the water? That's a little strange."
Metal's going to say, "This is a really long story. He is very hurt. If you have like any Ninja Turtle band-aids or something on you, like this guy's hurt."
I think so. Rainier Neverember looks at Urstul Floxin.
Mel would be like trying to like stem the bleed. Okay, maybe that's more Diana because I'm a nurse.
But
no, I
Tess
feel like
can
I'd be
heal
trying to like stem
as
the
well.
bleeding.
If we wanted to heal him, like if you said like we're trying to heal this guy, Tess can cure wounds.
Mm-hmm.
Cure minor wounds? Question mark?
Yep. Tess has got a healing spell.
Oh, I don't know that Mel knows that's I would be trying to stem the bleeding and asking Rainier if he's got anything to help. If Tess wants to step in at that point, fine. But I would be holding it and being like you need to do something. Even though I low key hate Urstul, I still just I feel bad about just letting him die, which is funny because I kill a lot of people in this show.
Yeah, I was gonna say Mel is much better at causing bleeding than stopping it.
Growth arcs, growth arcs, growth arcs.
Yeah,
I fucking love it.
But yeah.
Okay, so Tess, so you see Mel start to like stem the bleeding of this cut, and you can see like there's a fair amount of blood coming out of old boy Urstul.
Oh, and in the abdomen and in the water,
It's a
that
bad
shit's
spot.
definitely infected. We need like some serious IV Vanco or some other.
That's gooey at best.
He needs
Yeah,
a
no, Tess would
hospital.
just jump in and be like, hey, if we want to save him, I think I can cure wounds. I don't know if I can do it very well, but if that will help.
I think Tess, as you start to like step up and maybe start the first reaches of casting the spell, you hear a rasping, scraping sound, and suddenly there's a sword tip about a foot away from your face, not pointed at you, but pointed at Urstul Floxin. And Rainier Neverember's voice grows deadly cold and says, if you want to do yourself in this city a service, you will let this piece of scum die here on the pier where his body belongs. We can toss it into the water for the fish to chew on because that is all he is good for.
Damn.
I'm kind of with him on this one.
You are kneeling beside a piece of pause for effect as I remember which side of the gang where Urstul Floxin is on. Thank you. You are standing beside a high-ranking agent of the Zentarim, the scourge of this city, who is one half of the gang who are tearing our noble city apart. Why not you just let him die? If it hurts, it hurts.
What am I gonna? I'm gonna growth arcs. Still trying to stem the bleeding. I'm not just gonna watch a man suffer and die. If he has done something bad, then he can answer for those crimes the way that the justice system in Waterdeep is supposed to work. I don't actually know how it's supposed to work, Bestie, but let's pretend I do. And he can answer for his crimes that way. I am not just going to stand by and watch a man die without knowing that I tried everything first.
Very good. Then I will help you out. And he pulls up his sword and goes to like take a swing.
Fair enough. Hell yeah.
He goes to kill the dude. Does he?
Seems that way, unless somebody else wants to get involved.
My hands are full.
Yeah, Gary, you're busy.
This entire conversation, just a little bit off screen.
I mean, do I have time to like stop it? I don't want to kill Rainier. I just kind of want to like stop. Like, can I pull my own and like just stop him?
I mean, in any case, I still have Garath's dagger in my hand. I'm gonna put it out in front to stop and to try to help.
Okay. I think Arnold, before I make you roll for it.
Okay.
Rainier Neverember expresses his face gets surprised, and the sword sort of like freezes behind his head. And actually, Arnold, while you got a good look at it, it's a really nice sword. We're talking like gold filigree in the handle. There are what appear to be gemstones on either side of the crossbars, and a large, sizable one at the hilt. This is a nice piece.
I'm taking it.
I kind of like how Mel and Arnold's growth arcs went the opposite way. Like Arnold's gotten real dark, and Mel's like, maybe I should not kill so many people.
I'm
so proud of Garath for remaining just a one-note character.
What a great!
I feel like Garath has had
here.
hidden talents this whole time and just hasn't let on until recently.
Arnold, Rainier looks at you and almost speaks with like disappointment and says, my dear friend, I did not expect that you would stand between righteous retribution and this fiend, this fellow who has caused innumerable harm and suffering to many of the city, including myself. I thought you and I were compatriots.
Yeah, so Arnold... Oh, good.
Oh, Tess would just look at him and be like, don't you dare gaslight my friend. Like that. Bullshit. And she kind of just kicks him in the shin.
Tess has got like a secret gaslight meter.
Yeah. She just kicks him in the shin, like not hard enough to like knock him over. Just be like, hey, that's rude. Don't do that.
Rainer's just like gaslighting. What is that? Some
actually,
crazy
hang on.
your friends made
I don't
up?
have gas or light.
I like that Tess just kicks him in the shin. I think Rainier goes, if you could please. He does the rest of his speaking hopping on one foot. All right, Arnold.
So so basically Arnold looks at him and he's just like, there's nothing righteous about killing an unarmed, clearly wounded man on the ground. He's been through enough. Maybe he's not a good guy. He's actually trying to frame me. If anyone has a reason to want this guy to see harm, it's us.
Mel's gonna chime in super quick and just like look him in the eye and be like, because like Arnold's pointed out that he's dying, and be like, "Where's your honor?"
To Rainier?
Yeah, because he's gonna kill a dude. That's
okay. Rainier says, How dare you accuse me of breaking my honor for this piece of filth who has caused the ruin of my family and is directly responsible. Listen, you do not know this, yes, but this is the scum of somebody who is actively trying to tear my reputation apart piece by piece. I have him here at my mercy, and you expect me to what? Just let him be okay? Because he doesn't happen to have a sword at my throat this time?
Can Garath, is Garath able to like contribute to this conversation at all?
Yeah,
like,
Gary, you could like crane up over this old lady and just shout over her supine form.
And that's what I'm gonna do, is be like, yeah, I'm like obviously struggling. All right, listen, I hate to throw my hat in the ring here, but we were just gonna kill him moments ago, but now because he's wounded, we're not. I'm not trying to influence anyone's decision, and then I get cut off. Fuck.
Yeah. I think this old lady like punches you in the face, like her arm comes up and just like clocks you in the jaw. But to that point, Rainier Neverember says, "Aha, yes, my good friend Garath points out an excellent point. Yes, we would have killed him moments ago if he had a sword in his hand, and we would kill him now. It's just easier slightly."
Yeah. So Arnold would say, "Wait. Where did that fish creature come from again?"
What on
not to Rainier. I'm kind of just generally like, wait a second, where did that fish thing come from anyway?
Oh, you mean the thing that Urstul hired to kill us?
That's what I'm okay. So yeah, so I'm just like, okay, Rainier, essentially, if we just leave him here, he's kind of hoisted with his own petard. We just leave him. It's not on your honor. It's not on ours.
His own actions.
It's his own actions.
Wait. So sorry, his own mercenary did this to him.
Yes,
correct.
Okay.
Yeah, because what happened last episode was Urstul said like he had hired an independent contractor, non-union, which is important to note.
Nice.
to come and do some dirty work. And apparently Travis has turned on him at some point. Nobody's actually bothered to get Travis's point of view on this, which is unfortunate because
still like in the water.
Oh no, he is, but nobody's stuck their head underwater and been like, "What's
no,
going on?"
I'm not sticking my head under the water.
Yeah, the last time somebody's head was underwater,
that?
somebody else got stabbed.
It's like to say that I did have my head under the water, so
that's true. You were busy with the other underwater horror that I had crafted for you.
Yeah. The infected hands.
Okay. I think in and amongst this bickering, Garath, you see this old lady's hands suddenly stop trying to throttle you from behind her, but start diving to what appears to be a fanny pack at her waist.
I don't suppose I can go for the wand, can I?
You can. It's a couple feet away, so I'm going to need a pretty impressive sleight of hand or dexterity roll, or the assistance of one of your colleagues if you want to shout out to one of the homies.
I obviously do want advantage, but I'm trying to think of a reason that Garath would in character ask for help rather than just diving for the wand as quick as possible, and I'm not coming up with one.
I mean,
would you grunt desperately as you leap for it?
I mean, I would kind of just do a little like fuck.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, I was gonna so like Arnold, having spent time with this person in many situations, knows that specific fuck and the whole spectrum of fucks.
The whole spectrum of fucks.
Arnold pulls out a little dictionary. Goes,
oh God.
Oh no, Garath is in trouble.
All right, Arnold, what do you do?
Garath is stuck in the well.
Oh no.
So, first of all, we're kind of in a standoff with this whole situation still. But like I can at the very least I can give him bardic inspiration to give him.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can do that at least. It gives him the 1d6 plus
All right,
whatever.
Garion, so you're gonna roll and you're gonna add a d6 to it, whatever you decide to do.
Is that including my bonus?
Correct.
Holy shit. You said sleight of hand, right?
No.
You said that was an option.
Yeah,
He's
sleight
like,
of hand.
Badass. Okay. So I rolled a 15 plus 7 for sleight of hand is 22 plus 6 for the bardic inspiration is 20.
It's a d6, you gotta roll for it.
Oh, true. Great point.
Just
But
before
he's
you take
already
it, just
got, like, a
before you
20.
take a
It's still
cool
great.
28 points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope you get a 6.
Oh, man.
You know what? If for what it's worth, me too.
Wow.
Holy shit, I got a 5. Close enough.
Close enough.
All right, so what's that all day?
A 27.
God damn. Okay. Yeah, I think you just reach out and you scoop up the wand. And as you hold it, Garath, it starts like thrumming and vibrating in your grip, almost like it's
It's a different type of wand.
yeah, you know what I mean?
Gross. All right. Do I have time for another move here?
Sure, let's keep the action with you. We're not in initiative because initiative makes things boring, so let's keep with you for a second.
So if I were to get up and point the wand at this person, pretending like I knew how to use it, would that be intimidate or deception?
Well, you're doing it against the person who made it, so I'm guessing intimidation because I'm going to be real. The deception DC, you're not going to touch.
Fair enough.
More
I don't
importantly,
suppose I could use like my wizard background as like. I'm wearing wizard robes after all. I could look wizardly.
yeah, I'm
Then
also
just some
wearing a
random
tie,
jargon.
but guess what, dude?
I feel like that was a bad analogy because honestly, I would mistake you for a waiter.
Tall talk coming from the guy you're negotiating from, by the way. You know what? Yeah, roll a deception check.
No, I don't want to.
Sucks for you, bro. Do you want sparkling water or tap? Roll it.
All right.
You can charge him for the water.
I got a
I'll charge you for
19.
it either way. 19 is quite good. All right. I think sort of before you even can say anything, you see this figure put her hands up, and this please won't you help me falsetto that she had been affecting drops out of her voice, and she looks at you and says in her real voice, the one that you heard her interrogating one of the thugs with inside, she says, "You don't have the spine for it, cog."
You guys seen Rango?
No.
Yeah.
Try me.
Okay. She says, "That's a very dangerous piece of equipment you have there. I would hate for you to make a mistake and kill yourself with it."
I would hate for mutually assured destruction as well. I agree with you. Now, why are you here? Why'd you kill that guy? Hold 9 yards. You know the questions I'm going to ask you.
The edges of her lips turn up as she smiles and almost smirks at you and says, "I'm the former head priest of the Chuff Chuff Boys. That smoke isn't going to do anything to me. You, on the other hand, as an initiate, as a filthy, I couldn't have put it better myself, as a lowly cog, have no idea what you're dealing with. The Chuff Chuff of the House of Inspired Hands is an initiate-only resource. It would kill you. It would merely tickle me."
If she's trying to intimidate with Chuff Chuff Boys, I'm not doing a good job.
Listen, I made the name Chuff Chuff Boys long before this became relevant, so I'm working with what I got.
That was a workshop's name.
spent hours putting blood.
I would
sweat,
have
and
lied
tears.
and called that improv all day.
Yeah. Yeah. Would have taken
I
that
want to
one
see
my
his like
grave.
notebook where he's like, luff, luff, no, crunch,
No.
buff, buff,
Huff,
no.
No,
Fuck.
no.
Fourth
It's
grade
just
all
running
over.
through the alphabet.
Fluff, fluff, boys.
Garath is going to look at her and go, if one cog is broken, the whole clock stops working, and then he's gonna break the wand.
Metal AF.
Oh my goodness gracious. I love it so much.
It's made of metal, so that sounds like a strength check.
I would say so. How are you going to do it, Gareth? Are you going to go with the classic over your knee? Or are you going to do it against like, a door
Classic
frame?
twig over the knee, yeah.
Okay, all right. Roll it. Strength check.
Word. Wow, that bonus is technically not negative. I got a 12.
Okay. You slam it over your knee and bend it pretty significantly.
I'll take it.
There's like a spark and like a pop. And some of the gears stop twisting. And actually you see this elderly lady like snarl with what appears to be frustration.
Could you imagine how funny it would have been if like such like a badass line and then ow,
I was thinking
me.
that. If you
Damn
just,
it.
like,
like you get a splinter from it?
Yeah.
Okay, so to the rest of your question, Gareth. She says, well, now that you have ruined my chuff chuff pen.
Literally sounds like a vape pen.
Dude, that sounds, have you heard of puff bars? That sounds like a fucking
She says, I was sitting at home enjoying a cup of tea when that man, and she points at Urstul Floxin, who is currently, Gareth, I will say, as you look over, bleeding in the arms of Mel and Tess, and Arnold is holding your dagger against Rainier Neverember. The scene over there is fucking wild. So she points at that and she says, that man came and started slamming in my door, barking questions. I was merely defending myself. I don't know why my hands are still up. You've broken my pen. She puts her hands down. Actually, she flips you off and then puts her hands down. It's a very important detail.
Gareth breaks down and sobs. No. You know what? I'm going to be completely honest with you, lady. I'm sorry, I never caught your name, by the way.
My name is L, but, and she grins, and actually, Gareth, you can see as she grins, several of her teeth have been replaced with ticking cogs in like a tiny pieces of like imitation teeth that like grins across half of her upper bridge.
That's pretty fucking cool.
She says, but you can call me priestess.
Okay.
yeah, that's not.
I'm going to be
fucking
honest with you,
happening.
lady.
I'm gonna call you L.
Gareth just called her lady anyway. I'm going to be honest with you, lady. The only problem I really have with you is that you aimed your pen at my friend and also almost poisoned me. You know what? You killed 3 of the people I was planning to. I don't.
Oh,
think
they're not dead. They're gonna wake up with a mad headache in about hour and a half.
Well, then you.
Well, the one guy that is dead is gonna stay dead. That dude dead as hell.
Yeah, my point being, you made a lot of things way easier for me. And you don't exactly seem to be a chum of Eugene over there. So, personally, I have very little interest in the gang war that you are apparently the head honcho of. What? I don't remember what the Chuff Boys are. I feel like you just kind of made that up.
Oh,
so
no, Gary. Sorry. Let me brief refresher. The Chuff Boys, or Chuff is a phrase that you actually remember from Charlie, the head priest of the House of Inspired Hands. There was actually a green smoke hovering around some of the engineers at the House of Inspired Hands that looked and smelled identical to this smoke that had just burst from this pen.
You don't exactly seem like a great friend of Eugene over there, and I'm willing to bet he, how do I say, borrowed you for the same question we have, and I personally would like to ask it much more politely.
Do you mind if I stand for the rest of this conversation, or would you like to have this Would you like to have this talk with me lying on the floor?
As long as you keep your hands out of that purse, I'll keep my hands off of my belt.
You girls are nasty.
Yeah.
Both of you are in
Listen,
a
we
timeout.
started this out with CDSM, so I mean, that's where my brain is.
Yeah, Gareth, she agrees to sort of like play nice,
like a parlay,
and stands and sort of like adjusts her fit, her drip, if you will. Across the pier, I think Arnold, you see Rainier Neverember drop his sword. I think he's unwilling to go against you because he does consider you a friend. However, you see him glance at the abdomen wound in Urstul Floxin and a little smile grins across. Like he's like a little happy about it. Tess, do you want to roll that cure wound spell before I forget about it?
Yes. That's what I was gonna say. Oh, I got 3.
Okay.
Bang.
Damn.
Oh,
all right, so you press your hands against Urstul Floxin's abdomen and sort of like whispers. What do you whisper, Tess, when you cast cure wounds on people?
I have to have a spell.
It doesn't have to be a spell. It can be like something that's important to you as a character, or just or just something.
Oh, okay. I think she'd just be like, "Oh, I'm sorry about your boo boo."
All right. You whisper, "I'm sorry about your boo boo," and there's like a jolt of like white light that spreads from your fingers, and like a little bit of this sort of like trench in this dude's gut sort of like pieces itself back together, and the blood slows a bit. And he looks at you sort of like sweating and pale and says, "Thank you."
I mean, you're going to die anyway, but you know.
Yeah. So Arnold, he's in there. Rainier just lowered his sword a little bit. I haven't heard from Garion since I last deciphered his fuck. So I want to like Arnold would just kind of question and go, "Fuck." Like up there, like fuck, like speaking to Garion. Like I want to try to get like a judge. I want to
hang on. Before anything else happens, Garion, you hear the bard from like 20 feet behind you go, "Fuck."
Boy, if I had a nickel.
Arnold, it's not a different language. I'm just swearing. How many times?
Incredible.
Sorry, I know that doesn't follow yes and, but
Arnold, you look and you
I was hoping for that yes and so hard.
No. Garion just said yes. You see Garath having a fairly civil conversation with this old lady who he has helped stand up, and they are sort of just chatting back and forth. Garath is holding the sort of like bent remains of what appears to be a wand in one hand. I'm
so excited for that. Okay, so he's freaking Garion. It's okay. No, so like, okay, so I think we should go up and help Garath. He's clearly having some weird situation with this old lady up there.
Okay, Mel.
Yeah, Mel's gonna glance over, but it looks like he's having a civil conversation, so she's probably just gonna say like, I don't know, it looks like he's taking care of himself. This wound is not so cured.
As you're looking at it, Mel, and also Dianna, who I suspect is a little bit in nurse mode at ATM, it's not lethal. It's bad, but he's not going to die from it. Tess did enough to like pull him back from like immediate danger. He should go to a hospital for a double shot of, I don't know, fantasy penicillin or whatever they're putting in people these days. But he's not going to die.
Okay.
Tess would go with Arnold because she would also be like, "Oh no, I have to help help Garath."
Mel doesn't trust Rainier not to murder him as soon as she turns the other way.
Maybe say something to Rainier.
So, yeah, I'm getting there, bestie. God, can I think? I cannot. I don't know everything that he's done. I assure you, he's no friend of mine either. I know he's a bad man, but if he's going to answer for his crimes, he should answer for them in the court of law. And I want to help my friend, but I don't know that you're not going to kill this wounded man as soon as I turn my back.
All right, my dear
Like,
friend.
take him in.
I will.
Like arrest him. Take him in. Do what you need to, but don't let him die like this.
For the sake of our friendship, I will tell you this: Rainier Neverember is a man of honor, the way his father never was. You have my word, my solemn oath. I will not slide my sword through this man like stick through water, though he does. I assure you, deserve it.
He's gonna
That fits
suck.
in, but will you order anyone to do that? Rainier.
And I suppose I will tell all of my boon companions here. Yes, you people back there, keep your swords to yourself. Nobody hurts the Zent, who I assure you, I cannot over-establish how much he deserves the sweet release of death.
I believe that he's a bad man, but I don't know everything that's going on, and I've there's been too much loss already, and because I think Mel is just real shook still from Cerulean just disappearing.
Sure, absolutely.
Which is probably partially responsible for the character arc. But yeah, so I don't know everything that's happening. There's too much violence now, and I believe you, I do, but let him answer the way that he's supposed to answer through the law. Take him in, arrest him, whatever you need to do. Just know that I do believe you. I can't let him die like this. Not after
Garath shouts out, "It's only so satisfying spitting on his grave, but just imagine pointing and laughing at him through bars."
Now, this I do say, this is an excellent point. Thank you, Garath. I knew that you would see exactly the same amount of logic that you see at all times. I have said it before, and I will say it again. Garath and Rainier Neverember, boon companions.
Hooray.
You see Urstul sort of like pull himself up. And Tess, he actually reaches out and squeezes your hand, just like briefly. And then he stands up and he looks at Rainier and smiles. And then he does spit in Rainier's face, which was an interesting choice that he made. But he has just heard that Rainier promised not to kill him, so he is going to take advantage of that.
Tess pokes him like right next to the wound and is like, "Hey, don't be rude."
I know, like I just
Hey,
like
I just
Tess
saved you.
we
pulls
just
out a
fucking
lemon and
defended
just
you.
fucking...
Like maybe don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Like Jesus. So, like, that's a bold move, motherfucker. You think about that bold move from jail.
I assure you, I am not going to jail.
Tess just pokes him one more time.
And Mel's gonna
Stop it.
say, "Listen, he's not gonna kill you, but I am gonna let him
have his
where
way.
you're going next." And then I'm just gonna kind of like be like, "Rainier."
What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Critically Stupid. Give me just a couple of seconds. I'll have you right back to the show. I am your friendly neighborhood dungeon master, Alexander James. I guess if you had made it through this half of this episode and were confused as to who we are, hi, that's us. That's who we is. I'm here to tell you that per the Code Legal, we are playing an official Dungeons & Dragons licensed module called Waterdeep Dragon Heist, written by Chris Perkins. It's written by Scott Fitzgerald Gray. It's written by Kim Mohan. And of course, we cannot forget Michelle Carter. If you or any of your pals, your schoolboy chums, your dread soldiers would like to get into D&D, I recommend you go to dnd.wizards.com. Check out all the great supplies they've got there for you. They've got editable character sheets. That almost sounded like edible for a split second, didn't it? Editable character sheets, cool books and, you know, DM screens. I guess if you play in person, if you're lucky enough to play in the same room as your squad, that's great for you. Check out all the cool stuff there. It's really awesome. If you would like to end up as a character on our show, you can tweet us at CritStupid. You can end up as a character like Elle, aka the Priestess. Elle is at Lauretano Writes, at LAURETANO, and then Writes, WRITES. Elle supported us when we only had a couple episodes on the air. I think it was towards the end of season 1. So Elle, I hope you're still listening. Thank you so much for supporting us, and I hope your character comes back. She actually turned out to be like way cooler than I expected her to be, low key. So yeah, I hope she swims back through the current. Yeah, if you want to end up as a character, you can tweet us, like I said. I'm always using community names to name all of those little kind of silly NPCs that the guys run into, and it could be you. And remember, any dumb stuff your wax puppet says is my fault, not yours. If it's problematic, hopefully it's not. But if it is, that's on me, not you. You're perfect. We are doing a big YouTube subscription push, trying to get to that magical number of 1,000 subscribers so that we can get access to better cameras, better mics, better recording software, generally so that we can put out a better show for you. So if you haven't yet, I would very, very much appreciate it if you could subscribe, if you could recommend the show to a friend, if you could give us a rating on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or Good Pods or wherever you listen to us if you're audio only. We really rely on you guys to get pushed up in that algorithm, get in front of new listeners who might like the show, like yourself. So if you haven't yet, I would super appreciate it if you could subscribe, like, or leave a review. And I think that's it, actually. I'm going to keep it real quick. You have a great day. You keep it squeezy out. Bestie, really quick, tell me about your dice woes.
Dice woes. Okay, so I am, or was anyway, new to D&D, and one of the things you told me, Bestie, was that I needed dice. Nobody told me there was like a digital dice option, which looking back was kind of a dick move. So I went on Amazon to find dice, and there are so many fucking options. There's you've got metal ones, you got plastic ones, and then different sizes, and I had no idea what kind of dice I was supposed to get, or if it even mattered. And I remember reaching out to you, Bestie, just all caps. I was like, dice woes, because I had no idea what to purchase.
Dear listener, if you have ever been in the same scenario as my main girl, Diana, fret not, because we are sponsored here today by Libris Arcana. Libris Arcana has premium dice that they will deliver straight to your doorstep via subscription. This is actually legitimately one of the coolest things that I have found in my time in the tabletop role-playing game space. You can go to LibrisArcana.com. You can sign up for their subscription service, and once a month, they will send you a full set of TTRPG dice. You get the standard set, D20, D12, D10, all the way down to a D4, and they're different themes every month. Like the theme that we just passed in, we're recording this in April, the theme that just passed was Dreamsicle, and I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm gonna let my main man Anthony talk about them, but like these dice are really high quality. The cost is really reasonable. I think it's like $15 to $16 per set, but every month you will get a new set of dice that you can sign up for a subscription. You can cancel at any time, even immediately after you make that subscription. You can gift it to a friend and sign them up for 1 or 2 or 3 months at a time to get those sweet math rocks delivered right to their door. But right now, I'm gonna let my man Anthony chime in and tell you about the quality of these dice.
So I got 2 sets of these dice, and they are the most gorgeous things I've ever seen, dice-wise. I'm just gonna be completely honest here. They look edible, is the thing. Like they're the dreamsicle ice like dice literally look like candy, and I was close to eating them. I thought for sure. I was like, oh, they sent me a delicious gift, and I can't wait to try this out. Not the case. In fact, they're just wonderfully made, perfectly crafted, incredible looking dice, and both of the sets are just absolutely phenomenal. Worth the subscription, absolutely. So
speaking of the subscription, Garion, where can our listeners get their hands on these sweet dice?
I've wanted you to ask me that for so long. They could go to librisarcana.com. That's LIBRISARCNA.com. And if you apply the discount code at checkout, that's CHECKOUT, and our discount count is stupid20, STUPID 20.
I'm sure the Spotify listeners are very grateful for that. Thank you, Garion. LibrisArcana.com with the discount code STUPID20. Libris Arcana, dice for life. Probably.
Solve all of your dice woes.
All of your dice woes solved in one spot. All right, Garion, what questions do you have for this old lady? Let's move the momentum of the scene a little bit.
I believe that our buddy bleeding out there had the same questions as I do. One, we were following a particular Nimblewright, a Nimblewright that we have known was probably made by another down at the House of Inspired Hands, and I'm not sure if you're a part of the organization, but the green smoke from there certainly matches the green smoke that you gassed everybody with.
Gareth, give me an insight check.
Okay. These words are so small. There it is. 11.
Okay. Her face darkens a little bit at the mention of the House of Inspired Hands, just for a second. However, she says that's impossible. Everybody who's been to the House of Inspired Hands knows that Nim is incapable of recreating himself, I think is what you're insinuating. That's impossible. He's confined to temple grounds.
Yes, we were actually there just the other day, or maybe the other week.
Did you see Charlie?
Time is real skewed. We did see Charlie. Amazing Dragonborn.
Did they seem okay? Did they seem good? Did they ask about me? Did they say anything about Elle?
Why do you want to know?
Never mind. What's your next question? Shut up.
What were they wearing?
Were they cute? Fuck, I lost my train of thought. Yes, we have established that Nim is contained to the grounds. He cannot necessarily make copies of himself. However, he expressed to us, with some difficulty, that he merely creates the bodies and then someone or something else fills them with magical life. I'm not exactly an expert. That's why I'm here with questions.
What a horrifying concept that is.
I agree.
Huh. That would explain why. Huh. A lot about what happened in the last 45 minutes to an hour is starting to really check out.
Glad it
You
is
know
for
what? It's still a
somebody.
little out of whack for me. I'm going to be honest. So
Well-
you haven't seen any Nimblewrights come by here? Real quick above table, what is this thing that the Nimblewright took that we wanted? It was like a necklace or something.
It was a necklace with a gem on the end of it, and you heard Arond Growlhund call it the Stone of Galore before he was brutally murdered by Urstul Floxin.
Yes, he was.
Cool.
But
I just wanted to remember that, not necessarily mention it to the lady.
Sure.
but also the stone might actually be like the person who was all like, "Take me back home."
Arond Growlhund did insinuate that there was some sort of sentience driving the stone.
Right, but the stone said something too, because the Nimblewrights don't talk.
Just before the Nimblewright fled Lady Yala Growlhund's manor, it did like float into the air and scream, "Return me to my home," before it burst into seawater, which is how you guys met Greg.
Oh yeah, Greg.
Greg.
I hope Greg
Gareth
gets
actually, Elle looks at you and her eyes narrow a little bit and she says, "Forgive me for being a little impertinent, but I don't think you're looking for the Nimblewright. I think you're looking for what the Nimblewright was carrying."
In this context, does it matter? They
Well,
are presumably in the same place. If we find one, we find the other.
dark things swim in these waters, my friend.
Yeah, I know. My friends have met him.
I think we are in a position to help each other. Mel, you see Urstul and Rainier both perk up and start taking almost instinctive steps towards the door where this conversation is happening. You're close enough that you can hear snippets of it, fragments and pieces of words. I think they both sort of like start paying attention at Nimblewright what it was carrying and help each other.
So I think I'm actually going to cut L off.
Okay.
You know what? I would agree that we are in a position to help each other, but quite frankly, I've had a long night, and I think that I would love to have a drink. Have you heard of Trollskull Manor, perhaps?
No.
Well, look it up. Stop by, perchance, and maybe we can continue further away from prying ears. And I glare at fucking everyone else, basically.
Rainier Neverember steps up and sheaths his sword, sort of with a little bit more flourish than necessary. Like he sort of like milks it a little bit. Yeah, exactly. He does like a ridiculous sort of like salute, and then like slams it into his scabbard. And he says,
once though.
Yeah. He misses it and then like shit. He says, my lady, I have not yet had the pleasure of making your acquaintance, but of course I am your most humble servant, Rainier Neverember. You might have heard of me. My father is the disgraced former lord of Waterdeep, Dagult Neverember. There are no secrets amongst compatriots here. We are all friends. We would all love to help you with your predicament. Pray tell, what is going on?
No secrets among compatriots, and yet you still won't tell us why all those goobers were so reverent to you, Rainier.
My main friend Garath, I have told you once, I have told you 100 times. I do not know why. Listen, Garath, if you would like to have this conversation in private again, I am more than happy to have it in private. However, I do not wish to waste our dear friend. I am so sorry, madame. I did not catch your name. And Elle straightens and she says, the priestess. And immediately, like oil over ice, Rainier Neverember says, yes, of course, the priestess. That is, of course, a very fitting name. It fits you most admirably like a well-tailored suit, the priestess. What was I saying? I do not even remember. Garath, our issue is of no consequence when we can help a dear citizen of this city.
Mel wants to interrupt quick and say, there might not be secrets between all of us friends, but maybe we don't want Urstul here to know a little more. I've granted him enough favors by keeping him alive, so maybe we move this conversation someplace else.
And puts her hands over Urstul's ears.
La 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 la.
Yeah, just plugs them, or just like, shh, don't listen.
Also, I think that we might not want to just stand out here in the dark before a wandering guard comes our way. I know not everyone here is exactly in the best light of the law.
Elle looks at you guys. She looks at Rainier. Then she looks at Urstul. And she nods once and says, come inside. I think you're right. I think we should have this conversation in private. You, and she points at all of you, and you, and she points at Rainier. Come in here. You can fuck right off. And then she opens the door almost to like invite you guys inside.
As Anthony walks in, Garath is gonna put his hand on Arnold's shoulder and just go, fuck.
Are any of like Rainier's like people that was with him staying out like to keep an eye on Urstul? Or I assume that's what she was saying to fuck off, unless it was me. I don't know.
Oh no, she was talking to Urstul. But as he sort of like strides, I don't know why, but I always imagine Rainier Neverember wearing spurs for no reason.
Yeah.
But as his spurs jingle across the decks of this pier, he imperiously turns to one of his goons and says, "You all stay out here and make sure this ruffian tries no nonsense, huh? And if yes, that terrifying creature from the depths comes back to stab him a third time, do nothing."
And if he's dead when we come out here, I'll be a little bit upset.
Moderately.
Tess says to Urstul, just that like And if you like whatever, like try to run away or something, that the cure that I put in your wounds, like it will be undone. And that's a total lie.
So,
I
Jess, we call that a deception check. It's one of your
Yeah.
skills. You're definitely gonna roll one of those bad boys.
Okay, what is it? What do
So
I
you're
roll?
gonna roll a d20 and add whatever number is next to deception to it.
Deception.
One of these days, Jess, I'm gonna convince you to get real dice because it's so much more fun to roll real dice.
It is by a lot.
I have 15.
Does Anthony have real dice?
I do. I don't roll them. I just roll them. Here.
Anthony.
It's loud.
It's so much more fun when you need a good roll and you need it really bad, so you just spend 10 minutes
fucking warming it up. Jess.
15.
Huh. Okay. I think Urstul Floxin's eyes widen a little bit and he sort of seems unsure.
Okay.
But he takes a couple steps backwards.
And then Tess holds out her finger, just being like, this will just not even saying anything, but just implying that she will poke him.
This is my bleeding finger.
I killed a man with this thumb.
That's a crazy Ratatouille reference. Holy shit. Okay. You guys walk into Elle's cabin.
Hang on, as we're walking in,
sure.
I just wanted to say, so Arnold just absorbs the fuck, and it's just like, oh my gosh, she's the former high priestess of the Chuff Chuff Boys. I'm like, is your knee okay from that metal thing that you broke? That's amazing.
Garath just mutters softly to himself, is it another language?
Have I stumbled into? Okay.
As they're walking in, like Mel just wants to say to Rainier, just quiet, just so he hears it. Thank you for not killing.
Where's Josh Pat?
Josh Pat is coming with you. Josh Pat is firmly next to his mother's side because when he left her side last time, horrible things happened. He went for a swim and it was bad. Yeah. Sorry, Diana, give me one more take at what you told Rainier.
Oh, just to him, just so nobody else can hear. I just wanted to say, thank you for not killing him. I know that was hard for you. Thank you.
He nods. He hears you and understands. Elle closes the door and bolts it, and then bolts it again, and then bolts it again, and bolts the fifth bolt on this door. Each one is a subsequent larger and thicker bolt that she is driving into this door frame that is also reinforced with steel receptacles for these bars. And she steps over the two unconscious figures on the ground and says, I have something you want, and I have lost something precious to me. So you are going to help me get it back.
Okay.
directing that?
Can we stop playing the pronoun game and get to specifics?
When that fiend out there convinced me to open my doors under false pretenses, which I do not appreciate. I do not hang with liars, as the kids say on the streets.
No
the
pats.
street youths, no shot, as the children say, convinced me to open my doors. There was a commotion as his ruffians took hold of me, and I lost something important to me through there. And she points, and Garath, she points to the open hatch to the black tide underneath her cabin that you recognized or remember seeing being open as you sort of peered in through the window the first time.
So it leads into the water.
Correct.
You dropped something in the water?
Correct.
Water with I assume Garath has been caught up on everything that happened in the water.
I don't actually think so, because we've kept the pace such that Anthony and Jess, I don't think would have had time to tell you about everything that's happened. You would have seen Mel, obviously, with Urstul Floxin because they were on the pier with you. But as far as like what happened beneath the water, you're
So
kind of
when
in
I
the
feel
dark.
like Anthony
Okay,
would have
so
tried though. Like
that's what I was
Arnold
gonna
would
say.
have
So,
talked
like-
like really fast. Try and
Yeah.
get through
As
it
soon as
all.
she says that, I'm like, there's a mermaid in there, and also possibly zombie monsters. Not sure what's up. It's
What
like,
the hell is a mermaid?
Yeah, I don't know what that is. However, it certainly does not encourage me to go diving.
This is where I believe they call it the carrot comes in. I have something you want. You are not searching for the nimble right, because I assure you it is, if not completely scrapped, on its way to whatever robotic heaven waits for it. You want what it was holding. You want the stone.
There was a nimberite in the water, wasn't there?
There was, well remembered, Jess.
yes.
There wasn't. You did see the chomped open remains of a nimblewright lying half buried in the mud at the bottom of the harbor.
With the fishes.
Oh. Okay. Again, you lost something very dear and important to you, but I don't think any of us want to just dive down and start picking up random things and guessing. Could we maybe know what it is we're looking for?
Yeah, that stone doesn't mean that much to us. Come on now.
Okay, well, like above table, it is like the whole reason we're playing this game. Low key,
Yeah, no, like,
bestie.
it
It is
No,
like
I
the, it is
realize
like
that.
the. Oh, you're
I'm
lying.
saying,
Okay, okay.
like,
No, that's a good bluff. All right, all right.
do I have to roll for it?
Yeah. If you want it to have an effect, you do. If you're just saying it to say it, then it can lie where it is. But if you want to change her thinking to offer up more information, then that is going to be a deception check.
That's by.
And I think Jess would also ask her, like, why doesn't she just go in the water herself then? She's
Okay.
also
She's no
so
lady.
fancy,
she can't
fancy.
swim.
Well, while Bessie rolls that, I will tell you. She looks at the water, and Tess, for a split second, it almost seems like she's afraid. And she says, there is
A merceman in there.
there's nothing for me down there. Again, I have no idea what a merceman or mercemaid is. It seems to happen both ways. We all understand that gender is fluid, but I am deeply concerned with what you all saw down there. Regardless, I don't go down there anymore.
Anymore. Questions. I rolled it. It was a 13.
Yeah, I don't think she buys it, Bestie. I think she knows how important it is to you sort of off the jump.
Boo. No, he's not a good liar.
Rainier Neverember speaks up
Okay.
and says, never in his entire life has Rainier Neverember turned up an opportunity to help a citizen of Waterdeep. I solemnly swear to you, priestess, again, a name most befitting of your stature, and I have seen the upper curve of your teeth. I will say the craftsmanship of your smile is wont to make the angels cry.
Ooh,
I
Gareth
will
have to roll a will save to not blush.
I will help you in this endeavor. I will find a means to get to the bottom of this harbor, and I will find this keepsake that you have lost, this thing that is most important to you. However, I do say that I do suspect that my best friend Garath is correct. We do need to know what we are looking for. This is Waterdeep Harbor. People throw flotsam and jetsam and who knows what else into these waters every day. We need to know what we are looking for.
Is Arnold
What-
so jealous that his best friend is best?
Yeah,
friend?
Arnold, how do you react to hearing somebody else call Garath their best friend?
Oh yeah, I'm crying on the inside and outside already.
Roll to cry. Let's see if you make everybody uncomfortable.
I try to make everyone.
It's like the instant the word friend leaves his mouth, just into like deep, heavy sobs. Not like a poetic tear, just like
I rolled a 13 plus. I think it's like a plus 20 for my natural depression.
Okay, you
So-
guys are all
Hey,
horribly,
That's my
horribly.
shtick.
Yeah, stop stealing Diana's shtick. She's the only one that's allowed to be sad.
You know,
Okay.
I said it last time, but it's amazing that my depression has been cured just because it's.
I don't know that
Diana's
yours is
vibe.
cured. It's just I have more of it. So
I love a good depression off here on Critically Stupid. Anyway.
First one to kill themselves wins.
Hey now. Let's not threaten me with a good time.
Elle says, holy shit, Bessie. Elle says,
it's worse when you actually know some of the things that are wrong.
Moving on.
Elle says,
you thought the crying was making everyone uncomfortable.
Reluctantly, it's a picture. It's a picture. It's a picture in a picture frame. It's small, maybe 8 inches by 5 inches.
That shit didn't get all wet and soggy?
No, it's in the frame. It's good.
Frame, you know.
Yeah, but a frame.
It's an OtterBox
Water's
frame.
still gonna get.
It doesn't matter if it's waterlogged. It's important to me.
Maybe the frame is.
Now, Rainier, I really appreciate your enthusiasm, but I want to try just one thing before you go for a cold dive here. Can I like rummage around in the dead dude's pockets to see if he has any like spare gold on him? It's for a reason.
Hang on a second, my man. I know you're about to do a quest.
No. I
scrap this corpse.
I genuinely have an idea.
All right, there are 2, Garath. There is Mikey or Donnie, one of the half-elf guards from Sylvie's unit of the Xanathar Guild that you remember from your brief time in the sewers. And then there's just a random Xanathar dude lying on the ground. Who do you go to?
I'm going for the dead one because they're less likely to need it.
There's also a dead one. Fair enough. Okay, yeah. You go through the dead dude's pockets, and he has it's a letter actually from the Humane Society of Waterdeep thanking him for adopting a new kitten. Dated
and also for his donations.
And that's right behind a letter from his kid's school because they just got the honor roll.
So like money
Gareth
or what?
Gareth takes the letter. He's like, I just got a new kitten.
I can't read. I don't know what the fuck that says.
Yeah. Gareth, he's got
true.
like 6.5 silver pieces on him. I mean, literally half. One of them has been split in half.
Word. Damn, how fucking strong do you have to be to split a silver coin in half? That's insane.
You know what's fucking crazy is it looks like it was done with a piece of like a pair of teeth. Like there are bite marks in it.
Oh, pair. Just the last 2 teeth.
The kitten's actually
The teeth are still stuck to it.
Yeah. You pull out a piece of silver with teeth.
Word. So Gareth is he's gonna look at Anthony and say, you said Travis was an independent contractor, right?
I did.
I'm gonna drop the silver into the water and be like, Travis, we have a potential job for you. Price is negotiable. This is just a kind of meeting fee here.
No, I like this. Make Travis go get the fucking thing. He's already in the water. He likes the water. Mel likes where your head is at. Ooh.
I mean, real talk, the
Mel
big
needs to
threat
be
in the
lost.
water, low-key, is Travis, so...
Right, we might as well get him on our side.
Get him
No,
to
I
do the
dig
quest
that.
for us.
All right.
Plus, his bestie's not really sure what to do with it, so that makes
I don't
sense
know what the
for us.
fuck I'm gonna do with that.
Because it's
It
real
was
clever. I mean,
wicked
Yeah,
smart,
right.
very creative, and I did not anticipate a stitch of it. Okay, I think. All right. I think that these silver pieces, Gareth, you don't even see them sink deep enough for the light to stop flickering. I'm going to rephrase that into active voice. The light is still flickering on these silver coins as they sink into the black water. And before it disappears, you see a scaled fist snatch up and swipe at them out of like sort of like into the light and then pull them into the darkness.
Mm-hmm. Is there any sort of response or anything?
That is the response.
I think that's a yes to taking the
All right,
job. That would be
then
my interpretation.
Then I'm gonna go. Someone up here has misplaced a framed photograph somewhere about 8 to 5 inches in diameter. if you are able to retrieve and return it to us, I will pay one gold piece upon completion. Is that like, first of all, above table, is that like a reasonable price? I don't actually know. We haven't bought anything.
Above table, not particularly. It's 1 gold piece is like half of a night stay at a reasonable hotel.
Then I'll go 2 gold pieces.
God, you're such a cheapskate. It's fucking crazy.
He charges for water.
I do not charge for water, okay? I just only serve water if you already ordered something.
One could argue that is charging for water. Anyway,
I think it's always funny. The act broke to stay rich archetype is always funny to me.
That's fair. Garath, you don't hear a response. You don't see any sort of like answer from the dark water lapping at this hatch. However, Rainier Neverember pipes up and sort of like sidles over to the priestess, and he says, "Do not despair, priestess. I will tell you, I will not be relying on this whatever it is that is in the water. I will personally find a way to go down into the depths of the harbor, and I will find this memento, this keepsake, this most important portrait for you, and I will give it back. And in turn, you, yes, will tell me, Rainier Neverember, what happened to the stone. Yes?" And Elle nods almost immediately and says, "Absolutely. The first person to bring me back the portrait will learn where the stone went."